Are you having trouble getting low enough in your squat? We're gonna show you 5 different reasons why you might be having trouble with that and how to fix it.
So one of the main reasons you might be limited in your squat depth is your poor ankle mobility. If you're like me and you've been playing sports your whole life, your calves are gonna be very tight and you're gonna have some restricted ankle mobility. We're gonna show you how to start working on those calves, releasing them so that you can start having better ankle mobility for your squats. So if your ankles are too tight, when you squat down, your knees aren't gonna be able to go forward very much. And then as soon as you get low, the heels are gonna pop up like this. We don't want the heel to come up off the ground or we're gonna put a ton of pressure on our knees. So we wanna allow those knees to go forward without the heel coming up. And that's gonna require quite a bit of ankle mobility. So the first thing you're gonna do is get familiar with the foam roller. We're gonna use this to do some myofascial release on the calves so that you can increase that ankle mobility a bit. So you're gonna sit on the floor with the foam roller, plop your calves right on top of it, and we're gonna apply a little bit of pressure. You may need to cross your leg over like this so that you can really put some weight on there and press into those calves. This might hurt a little bit if those are tight, but that's good. That's the muscle releasing. So really dig in there and loosen those bad boys up. So once you've massaged those calves out a little bit, next thing you're gonna want to do is some static stretching. You're gonna put your hands on the wall and push that back heel down onto the floor so you can stretch out your calves a little bit. You're gonna wanna hold these stretches for 90 seconds, maybe even up to 2 minutes. If you have a really tight muscle, that's gonna permanently change the length of that muscle a little bit more and allow for a deeper stretch. The next thing to do is start working on some active mobility for those calves. You're gonna wanna grab a kettlebell for this and find a box. You can also do this on the floor if you don't have a box. You're gonna place that kettlebell on your knee. You can use 15 to 25 pounds, whatever feels appropriate. And you're gonna start driving that knee forward without letting that heel come up off the box. So work on keeping the heel down and increasing the range of motion that your ankle can bend. Next, you're gonna wanna get some cute little pink kettlebells because you're not gonna need much weight for these. We're gonna do a tibialis raise. We wanna start strengthening the muscles that are opposite of our calves so that we can rebalance that ankle joint a little bit and allow for a bit more dorsiflexion. So you'll put your toes right into these kettlebells and sit on the box and hold your legs out straight. From here, we're pointing our toes up to the ceiling and working on this tibialis muscle. So now that I've improved my ankle mobility a little bit, I should be able to squat a bit better. Now when I squat, my knees can go forward a lot more without that heel coming up. And I should be able to get lower more comfortably without rounding my back. And that brings us on to our next point.
Do your hips feel really tight and that hinders your ability to get down lower in your squat? We're gonna talk about hip mobility next. First thing you're gonna do, get yourself a foam roller. This is gonna help you mobilize those muscles to get you down lower in your squat. So some of the muscles that are helpful to foam roll in order to get down lower in your squat are working on your glutes and your adductors. These are muscles that we use a lot to hold us steady in the bottom of a squat, and we need them to be mobile to get down lower. Once you're all foam rolled out, you're gonna start with some static hold stretching. We're gonna do a runner's lunge. This stretch will help you both with opening up your hips, but also getting down lower and having more hip flexion. Next, we're gonna grab a kettlebell. We're gonna get down deep into our squat. You can also use a TRX band for this if this isn't comfortable for you. Feel free to move side to side. Get those hips nice and mobilized in that bottom position of your squat. Lastly, we're gonna work on some strengthening of the hips. So we're gonna start with a hip flexor raise. We're gonna get up on the box. So we're gonna slip our foot right inside the kettlebell, scoot our other toes forward a little bit from the box, let it down, raise it up, and make sure you're controlling that whole way down. Next, we wanna strengthen that glute medius. So we wanna grab a band, we wanna push our knees out into that band, glue our toes to the floor so that they're not lifting up, and then performing our squat, making sure we're pushing into that band the whole time as we're coming up as well. You can also perform a side plank and even lift a leg up from that side plank. That can also help us work to strengthen that glute medius muscle in a more isometric way.
Now that you've addressed the ankle and hip mobility issues, you should be able to squat down a little bit lower without getting some rounding in your back. You can do that by doing the stick drill. You're gonna need one of these. Throw it on your back and see how low you can squat with a neutral spine. That's gonna be your bottom position of your squat. You don't wanna go to where you round your back. In order to keep your back stable, we need to do some isometric core exercises and maybe even warm up with a little bit of that before the squats. So doing a core warm up consisting of dead bugs, side planks, and bird dogs is a perfect place to start to start working on some isometric strength and activation of your core. In addition, you're going to want to do some other isometric core exercises in your training, such as planks, leg lifts, more side planks, and all sorts of different isometric holds to help you lock in that neutral spine position in your squat. So with a nice stable core, you should be able to squat as low as you can without rounding that back. Once you can do that, it's time to add some weight to your squat.
If you have great mobility, but you're just afraid of getting down lower, try some pin squats. Set up those pins at the lowest point of your squat, and then make your way down there, hit those pins, and shoot back up. So use this as a little guiding point for yourself. So you could always start with those pins much higher up. As you get comfortable with that, set them a little lower, give yourself a better challenge.
The final problem that you might have with your squat is that you don't feel very strong in the bottom position. So when you get down there, you just feel like you're gonna collapse. As a result, you don't feel very confident going down low, so you stop early. What you need is some pause squats. You're gonna go all the way to the bottom, find the complete bottom position, hold, 3 seconds is good, going back up. What this is gonna do, it's gonna reinforce that bottom position of the squat, and you're gonna feel more stable and strong down here, and it's not gonna be the weakest point of your squat anymore. We wanna make this the strong point. When we're at the bottom of the squat, we wanna keep our breath fully in so that we can keep a nice tight core. If we release that breath, we're gonna lose that tightness in our lower back, and we're gonna collapse in our spine. So keep that breath in, keep your core braced until you start going back up into the squat. If this video is gonna help you squat lower, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We offer all sorts of video tutorials. We also go to all sorts of cool gyms all around the world.
If you need more help with your training, make sure to go to infinitemotioncoaching.com, try out one of our programs. First month is on us, and we'll help you with your program.